What's up, everyone? It's Gabby Trades, and welcome back to the channel. Well, FOMC minutes warned the traders about a potential outcome of the Fed speech tomorrow. So we're going to be looking at that today and the important factors of the overall market sentiment, which are very important and have proven to be extremely influential to the overall markets, right? So stay with me. We're going to find out. But before we jump in, you guys, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. If you're new here, you're more than welcome. And click the small bell notification so you always get notified when I'm live here with you. You guys giving you the latest breakdowns. Good morning, everyone. Let's see quickly who is in the chat. We're starting a bit late today, so I'm like out of breath, but it's all good, you guys. We have Miro, Tyrell, Stanimir, King, Tony, Yese is here as well. Dodi, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Make sure to smash that like button, you guys, and we're going to proceed immediately with what I've discovered yesterday that might be pretty important for us over here. So we had the FOMC minutes that the Fed is worried about tariff-induced inflation and labor market weakness, you guys. Make sure to restart the chat box while we discuss this so I can see. Good morning, Mr. Incredible. So basically, over here, we have the Federal Reserve minutes that come 8 times. You guys know very well what these are. And we had the minutes released yesterday, and they revealed internal divisions, right? It's very important to mention that we have 2 members over here, 2 governors, right? So one's Waller and one's Bauman, and they dissented that they're preferring the rate cuts, while the broader committee, though, is remaining concerned about persistent inflation and labor market risks. Now, this is very important because we got these news, but the markets didn't overreact. This is important to note as well. Gold prices were holding steady, and caution is there that the rate cuts might be delayed. So these are the 2 messages that we need to be really careful of, right? So that's important. We didn't overreact of the FOMC meeting, but again, there is a little bit of caution. Now, the other thing that we need to be very much careful about, this is another article about the FOMC minutes over here. So the other thing that I want us to be very careful about over here is that we have cracks in the AI hype, potentially, right? It might be deflating. Now, the MIT report found that 95% of the businesses, you guys, investing in generative AI don't see returns. Right? So that was very important because that was the trigger of the sell that we had initially, right? So names like Nvidia, Palantir, think of them. They have growing skepticism, you guys. So this is very important because these companies make up for the majority of the indexes. Very important. We discussed that yesterday, but I want you to keep an eye on these news. Right? So Wall Street is facing a reality check from Meta. Now, why is that? Well, the reason for that is because Meta is restructuring its AI division, which is adding pressure, right? So that is highlighting that we have a potential overinvestment in AI, and is signaling that the AI boom might not last indefinitely, if you will. So it's very important for us to know these things. Right, so what is that? Stock market might be observing important realities, right, about the US economy. Now, why are analysts cautioning us about this? Well, essentially, right, what we're having is that we have a super strong market performance, especially in the TradFi, right? We have S&P 500, which is masking economy soft spots. Why? Because we still have the cooling consumer spending and the slowing job growth. So, but the market is very highly evaluated. So is it really pricing overly optimism in the rate cuts expectation? That is my question over here. So the thing that we need to ask in plain terms is, what are the warnings? Right? So first we have mega cap dominance, which is going to be, of course, the S&P 500 becoming dangerously loop-sided in a way. It is too reliant on a handful of large tech stocks. So that means a pullback in just one of them could drag the entire broader market. And that would include crypto for us, you guys. And we literally saw that happening the other day. So we need to be paying very close attention on these companies. What are they doing? Are they restructuring? Anything like that is going to mean hugely for us. The other thing that we need to be looking out for is, are we going to see anything like what the minutes are showing us, that the Fed is worried about inflation, right? They're wary of the average jobs data that we're getting. So the split between the policymakers also suggests that the future rate cuts are not guaranteed, which is pressuring anything rate sensitive assets at the moment. And the third point today from my research is that AI optimism is literally fading right now. So any growth stocks that are tied to AI are reacting badly to technical reports or any cutbacks that the companies might face. So the confidence is eroding a little bit further, and it's sparking broader selling in the market in general. So we need to be looking at, while equities are still strong on one side, and then we have beneath the surface nothing supporting it economically. So if corporate earnings or jobs weaken, then what's going to happen to the sentiment, right? It's going to shift in a very, very fast rate. So this is the things that, I wanted to point out today in the coming, speech tomorrow from Fed Jerome Powell, because it's going to be increasingly important. It is interesting for us to see that the majority are actually still worried and they're not supporting, right? We only have two of the governors supporting the rate cuts. So that is a bit concerning in my opinion. But again, today we're going to see the unemployment claims over here. Let's have a look. The forecast is for 226K. Let's see what we're going to get. Obviously, we have manufacturing and services PMI. We're looking for any numbers above 50 because that is going to suggest that the industries are not contracting, they're expanding. So when you're looking at this data, you want to see numbers above 50. Right. And then obviously Friday is going to be the huge mic drop over here. Let's see what happens. All right, let's start over here. So I'm very glad, you guys, that you're joining me, because we're increasingly having the correct sentiment in this market, and we've been having it so far. So, I was probably one of the only people on the CT and general crypto over here on YouTube that was pretty bullish yesterday, right? Because the idea is that the market was supposed to come to the buy zones, which was the breaker block over here. Let's just repeat for anyone that's new here. We had a buy zone that used to be a sell zone before that market traded through. So now this area was supposed to be our support. And we saw the market come straight from it. And it was very beautiful because I had a buy order over here. So I was nicely filled. I was probably up like 80% on my trade over here, where the market decided to come back and retest that area. Do you know, you guys, what I did? Like, you would be so pissed off at me right now if you're not on Discord. If you are on Discord, you know what I did. But if you're not, also make sure to join. The link is in the description box of this video. I'm going to show you exactly how to find it in a little bit. But for anyone that's new and it's not on Discord, I went to break even yesterday, and I'll tell you what the reason for that is. Obviously, it was this drop over here that took me exactly to my entry, and then price shooted up extensively yesterday. The reason for that is, you guys, because I also, just like you, go on Twitter and I have few people that I like, right? That I think, okay, these people make sense. So I'm going to, actually pay attention to what they say. So everyone is like, no, this is not sustainable. You guys have to protect your orders if you have any, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh my God, let me put my stops to break even just in case. And what do you know? Of course, as per my strategy and as per everything, the market comes back and of course retest the area, right? Look at the sniper entry and sniper retest. It is just double confirming that the area is strong. So anyway, I was taking out a break even on my Sol and on my ETH trade. So essentially I'm still short Ethereum from literally from the top up here. So, but it is what it is, right? So I'm looking for a re-entry right now over here. And yesterday, the one thing I didn't like though, and I wanted us to pay attention to, is over here. What do we have over here? Well, we have the true week open at 4,350 Ethereum. So seeing that price is rejecting from that area for me is a massive red flag, right? It's a massive red flag. So I am aware of this, but now what I'm hoping for is that price is going to reject over here, but then it's going to come down and retest the true month open down here and then continue up. Now, I'm going to be giving you the exact levels, what I'm looking for in terms of a nice, confirmation along on Ethereum. But over here on the 4-hour time frame, to be fair with you, the 4-hour time frame is already bullish. So 4-hour time frame is giving us confirmation that we're doing fine on Ethereum. When you're looking at the daily time frame though, if you're looking at the daily time frame, you want for price to exactly have a body close on the daily. Let me give you the exact level over here, right? Over here on a daily time frame, you want for Ethereum to close above 4,471.35. Now, when you're looking at the market like this and you identify the areas, you probably would not know how to identify these areas over here. So that's why it is important for you guys to come in the description box of this video. I just need to stop these ads. To come in the description. Oh my god, by the way, we have 26 likes and 60 people live here with us. You guys, we need 30 more likes at the very minimum right now for this video. So you need to come in the description box and get on the strategy course wait list. You can use this link just here to register, because I'm going to teach you how you can trade the upside and the downside of any area of interest that I'm showing you today. And also make sure to join Discord, right? Join Discord for the daily updates, for a professional forex trader giving 3 times live session teaching his profitable strategy on our Discord, and not to mention Dodi and the multiple other traders that we have that are giving setups every single day and analysis. So you guys, it's a very friendly community, and we're very, very, how can I say, we're just top of the top, right? In my opinion, we're top of the top because this is not a commercial Discord where you have like 15,000 people giving you signals and stuff like that. You would be learning, so make sure you get on that. All right, cool. Now moving on to Ethereum. So like we said, we identified the area 4,471. Daily break on that area is going to be essential. Now, even if we get that daily break over here, we already have the daily break to the downside over here. So essentially you will still have a buy setup and a sell setup, right? So this is the thing. This is the thing. You have to take the chances when you have them, and in this current market conditions is going to be hard. So what my plan is over here, if price rejects over here, it is inevitable that soon as price reaches to these levels around 4,430 around this area, or even 4,471, that price is going to reject, right? There is going to be sort of a wick over here. I've seen price too many times to tell you guys that this is usually the case, right? So there will be some sort of a scalp short over here forming around this area as well, for sure, because this is an area of interest. So what happens when price gets to an area of interest, you guys? Well, it's going to reject even before it breaks it. It tends to reject more than not, right? If you have like a massive shoot up to the upside, it's also possible, but it's more likely than not that price is going to be in 2 minds over here. So, that is going to be, a nice scalp setup over here if that happens. And if we break with a body close, even after we reject, this is going to be a further confirmation that we're increasingly bullish over here. So let's have a look at Ethereum. ETH BTC, sorry. We're looking at ETH BTC right now. So ETH BTC, right? We know very well that we have 2 liquidities to the upside that we need to be taking on ETH BTC. And currently right now, we're just here. So we do have we do have space, 7.7% ETH BTC, 12% ETH BTC to the upside to clear these levels. Now, the idea was that we're going to come down and react from this buy zone, which is exactly where we took the buys from, and in coordination with Ethereum and in coordination with the overall market sentiment. So that is how we are currently where we are at the moment in price. All right, let's see. Isn't the macro level, is DOT going to recover this bull run? I don't know. It has to. It's been extremely weak, you guys, honestly. We're going to have a look at Aave, no problem for that. So yeah, this is what I wanted to tell you. It is very important that we just continue here to the upside and take these levels. Once we take these levels, I'm not sure what's going to happen, right? Potential recovery, maybe to the downside a little bit, a pullback, if you will. It is very possible, but until these levels are cleared, I'll be looking for them to get cleared, basically. All right, moving on to Bitcoin over here. We're doing it backwards right now. I know how this goes for you guys. Let's have a look at the levels over here. I haven't been looking at Bitcoin too much, to be fair. So this is going to not be so interesting here for us. Let's go on a 1 hour time frame and look for Thursday. Look for Thursday over here. There is Thursday. Right, so that level here is important. The fact that we're trading below this level, 113.790, that is good for me. So from here, I want for price to shoot up at least to these levels over here. Let's see if that's going to be the case today, but that's what I'm looking for, even for Bitcoin. So I want to see more upside even on Bitcoin as well, at least to the 1166 levels over here. Right, let's see daily time frame if we have anything. Not really, but looking at the current month, right, the way the month is developing, you can see a clear reversal over here, right? A clear reversal. So it is very natural for price to be ranging over here, right? After such a clear reversal that you get at the beginning of the month over here, from here, continuation, you get then reversal. You're looking for price to be ranging, right? You're looking for price to be ranging. And then you guys know what the plan is. You're looking for price to manipulate either to the upside or to the downside for us to make a clear decision on the direction that we need to proceed. So my hair looks nice. Really? Oh my God, I haven't even looked at my hair this morning, Gentine. Stop being so cute. Solana. So yeah, Bitcoin boring as hell. So we're gonna move on here to Solana. Unfortunately, same thing, right? Same thing with this drop. I was long at 178 about here. So this candle over here took me out of my position because I was a scare rabbit and because I'm listening to people that I'm not supposed to be listening to other than myself, if that makes sense. So you guys, I strongly recommend stay away from whatever, just find people that you're trusting with their analysis, and you can verify every single day and week after week that these people are, helping with your analysis and, are getting things right. Find that and just stick to that is all I can say. Now over here quickly, for our promotions, I do want to mention that if you go ahead and in the description box, you can find the link for Bluffin, because now we're having until 26th of August, you guys. So 5 more days. Your loss we cover. You can get $100 refund on any losses you incur on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana. You can check over here. And by the way, under the video, you can find the link in the promo over here. And with that link, you can get access to the VIP section of my Discord. All right. So make sure you do that so you can get VIP access. Very easy to do. Okay, how can I get rid of that now? Delete. So yeah, over here, very sad because my entry was pretty amazing over here. And Solana on the 4-hour has confirmed bullish momentum. On the 12-hour has confirmed bullish momentum. On the daily, not really, right? For the daily, you do essentially want to break above here on Solana. You want to break 190. You want to break 190. But I'm going to tell you something, right? Solana is one of the assets that looks good right now. And of course, because we need to break this candle, right? We're looking at this candle specifically over here. Because we're looking at that candle, and that candle is kind of, you know, deciding over here. So that is clearly showing us, right, that price has reached to that candle and it's rejecting. So the same sort of scalp is what I was talking about Ethereum. If you guys remember, I said that when we reach the levels for ETH, the candle where we're supposed to break with a daily close, there is going to be a scalp short. So that essentially is this setup right here, right? For Solana. You're entering to the level on the daily time frame, very important, and you see how price is rejecting. So over here you have 184.66. that level needs to hold. So as you can see, right, is the same thing. If you analyze Solana, if you analyze Ethereum, right, you analyze both of these charts and you're like, okay, where is Solana rejecting from? Well, it's rejecting from a level where Ethereum is supposed to be rejecting from. Okay, how far is Solana from support? How far is Ethereum from support? Well, pretty much the same distance over here, right? We remember when we looked at Ethereum, the support that we're looking for was literally the same distance away right now. So this is what we're looking for. That's what we're hoping to achieve over here with this. Does that make sense? Now let's look at some alts over here. Aave up 0.8% on the day. Let's have a look. Of course, we're going to start with the daily time frame. Well, you know, very clear, right? Very clear. You have this liquidity over here on Aave. So these liquidities you can get literally only with my indicators, you guys. I keep telling you, and I will keep repeating that in the live stream until you get the indicators, because you can literally make so much use of that, right? You see a daily time frame liquidity taken, which is a high time frame, right? So once you get that, see what happens with price. It's grabbed the liquidity that it needs to, and it starts rejecting to the downside. So that would have been a nice trade over here, right? A very nice trade over here for us. So okay, let's discover a little bit where Aave is. I can see the red line, so that means we're trading just below 0.5, which is really good. Let's have a look at the weekly. Okay, so weekly is looking absolutely amazing, right? On a weekly time frame, you're having $400 as liquidity, or 39921, almost 400. Actually, put it $400 is currently liquidity for Aave. So that is where price is trying to go. Understand? Goedemorgen, everyone. Goedemorgen. So that's where price is trying to get over here. So any pullbacks are going to be leading to essentially price come to that level, right? On a 4-hour time frame, you can see that price again is reacting quite nicely from 4-hour support over here. So that is maintaining the bullish bias. Let's have a look over here. So 12-hour time frame has confirmed some bearish momentum over here. Daily time frame has confirmed some bearish momentum as well. So all of these things I don't really like to see, to be fair, right? But like we said, we hope we're wrong, because the same thing we saw with Ethereum. So let's see if price is going to prove us otherwise, right? Because essentially we did have a liquidity sweep over here. So yes, there is a possibility for price to be pulling back over here to some levels. Now the extreme levels of that pullback, if it's true for Aave particularly, right, I'll be looking at what the overall market is doing, not only Aave, right? So when Aave reaches to $240, where is Ethereum? Where is ETH BTC? What is Solana doing? What is Bitcoin doing? right? So when it reaches 0.1, when it reaches minus 1.5, which is going to be at 215 levels, if it does, right? This is in a case that it does. You need to screenshot these levels and start watching it price if you're interested in Aave, right? This is what I will be doing. So then again, you have this formation over here, right? You have this formation. So essentially, price in between here should keep some sort of support. So it could be a very shallow until the minus one area over here. If it happens, again, I'm not a market predictor. I cannot tell you what's going to happen, but if it does, these are the levels that we need to be watching, and that's important, right? And the deepest pullback over here, of course, is going to be in the areas in between -2, -2.5, and -2.5 standard deviation over here for Aave. Does that make sense? And if that happens, happy days, right? Especially before we've taken liquidity on a weekly time frame. Geez, that would be absolutely amazing, right? That would be absolutely amazing, because over here we can just, right, sweep some liquidity, right? Find some support, maybe come down into this weekly fair value gap over here. Let's open the indicators and see it. It is right here, the weekly fair value gap. So is it possible that price is going to drop to that level and then shoot up to take liquidity? Absolutely possible. You know, do we want for that to happen? No, but if price starts dropping, that's what's going to happen, in my opinion, technically speaking, of course, right? This is what the technical analysis are showing over here. So 12-hour time frame, price is pretty much keeping up, right? We're making a higher high, we're making a higher low. So it is very possible that we're just going to go here. Even on the 12-hour time frame, you have an immediate liquidity above the 0.5 levels. So if it's looking fine. Like, I'm honestly not stressed out at all. I'm not stressed out at all. So because if you look at Aave over here, right, you see that price has kept the low. We didn't create a lower low over here. So we didn't do that. We've kept, yes, we came to extreme levels, but then we broke the 0.236, which is a buy zone area. Why? Because it's extremely cheap. Price returns to the 0.236 level, and then it explodes. So from here, essentially, whatever happens, the confirmation for us is that price is going to come to at least 529, you know, price levels over here, right? Right? Because what happens is when price rejects from the 0.5, this is not good. But in the bull market, it's absolutely fine. Why? Because you can still wait and see. If you're in a bull market, you're suggesting that the 0.236 needs to hold, right? That the 0.636 needs to hold. Yeah. Maybe Aave will not come down, MOC inside. Yeah, absolutely not. The liquidity is up here. Price is way too close to the liquidity right now. So any pullback for me, it's on the positive here. Do you see what I mean? BTC on a 4-hour time frame, 1128 is the lowest buy level in my opinion. So for BTC, I think we discussed you know, yesterday. So like we said, 4-hour time frame is looking fine. We're getting some confirmation over here, but again, it's only the 4-hour time frame. The 12-hour needs some more confirmation, way more confirmation. I'm not even talking about daily, but I personally, I don't see Bitcoin coming up and making new all-time highs before October, you guys, to be fair with you, right? So that's what I'm looking at right here. I'm looking at this price range right now. And if we break it to the downside, which is possible, we want to see the new range formed and trade that until October, right? So more interested in alts, more interested in ETH, what it does, Solana, etc. So, but yeah, ETH BTC for me is like right now, you know, touch and go. So Anna over here, again, close to a buy zone as well. So this might be a good chance over here. For Anna, whatever you want to call it. But as you can see, the rejection is again from a level on a daily time frame, right? You see very well. You can get these with the indicators, you guys. Go and grab them, I swear. Honestly, it's going to be probably the best thing you've done for your trading. So yeah, you can see the rejection very clear coming into a buy zone right now. We haven't entirely reached the buy zone, right? So still in between levels over here. It would be nice. Pretty much similar setup to ETH BTC in general, if we see that happening. But it would be nice, right? It would be definitely good if that happens. XRP again at levels like we're looking on the weekly, but yeah, this is a support over here, right? Daily support 2.8315, right? 2.8315. So we want to see that level hold. Diamond Eyes, I adore your indicators. Yes, sweetheart, they're good. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? I haven't really looked at gold. After we hit take profit here on this trade, price reversed a little bit over here. But again, gold is going to be very dangerous because we're very close to liquidation levels down here. But once we take that low on gold, in my opinion, is going to be a good opportunity for short, for long down here, right? From this level. This level and also the 0.5 is what I'm looking for gold. Because gold needs to bring some crazy prices for us. Silver as well. This is one short idea I had on silver. I don't think I took that. Too many news, too much volatility, but again, pretty much a similar setup to gold. Silver has this liquidity down here at 36.2. Once we grab that liquidity, boy oh boy, would that be good for us. Manovich, bearish diversion on daily and weekly BTC RSI suggests that we will be down for the next 2 to 5 weeks. Yeah, I did see that on Twitter. I did see that people are posting that this might be the case. Well, to be honest, this is no news for anyone that's watching our live or it's in our Discord, because we have had the bearish confirmation for Bitcoin from 118.6. This is where we have the body close and confirmation that Bitcoin is bearish, right? And we haven't really had a pullback, right? We haven't really. So we confirmed over here. Usually price tends to pull back and then come down, but we didn't get that, right? We didn't get that. We straight shot to the downside over here very, very aggressively. Without any pullbacks. So right now, any pullbacks are going to be for the sell, really, because yeah, the only confirmation over here that we might get is probably potentially after price comes above levels like 117.3. Body closes above 117.3, which is again is going to kind of match with the 0.5 area. So if we get price to come back up here and starts rejecting, then you're potentially looking for a lower low on Bitcoin, right? But yeah, the bearish confirmation on Bitcoin is no news for me. RSI lacking indicator, in my opinion. Whatever I do is I think a bit for me, right? I'm not saying use your RSI, do whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens, Larry. This is what happens. In terms of the TradFi, you guys, I just wanted to show you over here NVIDIA, right? So, you know, as soon as NVIDIA starts dropping, the whole market sentiment goes bad, because NVIDIA is pretty much leading market indicator right now, unfortunately, right? Way too reliant tech giant over here, you know, for the NASDAQ, for especially, right? And NASDAQ's continuously dropping. Yesterday we had a little bit of a pullback over here, but today we're coming down to fill to fill this week. Probably, maybe we're gonna get 50% week fill over here. Let's see if that even is going to happen over here for Nasdaq. But again, you guys know what my bias is for Nasdaq. We still have space, right? We're looking at 24.6, 25.2 K for Nasdaq over here. So still overall bullish in the sentiment. I don't see any reason to get bearish overall, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, so what are we expecting over here? Well, we're expecting for Ethereum to hold, you know, at levels such as this one, 4,248. You want for price to hold over here, and that could potentially give us, you know, some out buys, potentially to around 4,440, 4,470. And if we break through here, happy days. If we don't break, you guys, we're not done yet. Does that make sense? And again, I highly recommend go in the description box of this video, sign up with Bluffin. Please like the video, because if you do, you can get 100% refund on any losses, and you can get VIP status on our Discord, right? Which is super friendly, you guys. None of that commercial stuff. So yeah, this is what I have for you guys today. And yeah, that's it. I need to do my hair. ETFs during their magic. Yeah, you know, like institutions are trading the way they're trading. Like, you need to understand, like, the way it happens is they form very, very big ranges, right? So the way the institutions are trading, they have price ranges that they deal with, right? This is why my model is based on the TradFi that I'm applying to crypto right now. Because you need to understand that the institutions are involved, so the institutions will be trading the way we are trading. Marco is offering me friendship over here. I'm good. I'm not gonna be good because I'm busy all the time, and I just sit in front of the computer, so not very funny. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one, right?